Welcome to Produck. We started Product with the vision of creating the project management software that offers everything you need as a product team, wrapped in a beautiful and delightful experience. Let's get started with the building blocks in Product. Workspace. This is your workspace, the core of everything that happens in your team, and it is where you will spend most of your time. At the top of the workspace navigation, we have the Create button. This button is used to quickly create new folders, projects, sprints, or tasks. When creating a project, you can choose the project name and key color. This helps to identify the project when used on tasks and on your folder tree. Your projects and sprints have different views. You can visualize tasks as a list or quickly switch to Kanban boards view by clicking on the Views toggle. Within a project's list view, you can group tasks by status, priority, assignee, sprint, type, or labels. Group by status or priority to follow the project progress and stay on top of what's happening, or group by assignee to see who is doing what and shuffle tasks depending on each member's workload. On the list view, by clicking on the filter icon, you can select which tasks you want to see: all tasks, tasks that are not completed, or tasks that have been completed. Let's take a look at the Kanban boards view. On this view, each status represents a column. You can drag and drop columns to reorder them, or turn them on or off from the Active Column dropdown. You can also drag and drop the tasks cards to reorder them or to move them between statuses. Kanban boards are great to optimize your workflow and visualize your work. Tasks. Besides the Create button, you can also create tasks in line. Just press the plus button and it will create a task at the end of the selected group. You can also press Shift plus Enter to create another task below. You can update your tasks directly in your workspace, as well as add multiple assignees, update the status, change the priority, add a due date, or add the task to different projects or sprints. Let's see what a task looks like inside. Something to note, everything is auto-saved and live updated with inline editing. So if someone is editing a task, you will see the changes right away. Below the task title, we have the description. This is an inline, rich text editor where you can format your descriptions with styles: bold, italic, underline, strike through, text types, paragraph, H1, H2, H3, text links, bullets, and code snippets. Use the fully featured inline rich text editor for descriptions to write requirements directly on your tasks, providing contextual knowledge that is accessible to your team. You can also upload images and attachments to the description by dragging files to the description area. Images will just be displayed, and other file types are added as attachments, which are inline and contextual. So instead of saying, "Please review the file wireframes_revised.zip," you can just say, "Check this out," and drop your file below. Below the description, as this is an epic, you can find the tasks inside this epic and add more by clicking on Add Tasks to Epic. Use epics to organize features or other bodies of work that have nested tasks. You can also have nested epics, creating different levels of hierarchy within your tasks. At the end of the page, you have comments. Comments have the same rich text editing features as the description, styles, bullets, images, and attachments, etc. And they are also live updated, so you can have conversations in real time. On the right side of this modal, you can find the task details. Here we have statuses, then we have priority, assignees. Of course, you can have multiple assignees per task. You can set the due date, estimate, sprints, labels, epics, followers. And behind this collapsible panel, you can find other task metadata like when it was updated or who created it. Above the task details, you have the project and actions bars. On the left side, we have the projects this task belongs to. Yes, a task can belong to one or multiple projects. Here's a great example of this feature in action. You can have a project for your support team where they can create tasks based on customer feedback or requests. Then, as a project manager, you can choose which of those tasks should be moved to the roadmap and assign them to their respective projects. so your product team can take action on them without getting overwhelmed by the constant input from your support team. And your support team can follow the task's progress from their own project with their own organization. Sprints. Going back to your workspace, besides projects, you can also have sprints. A sprint can have multiple tasks from multiple projects, but the key difference is that a sprint has a specific time frame with a start and end date. At the top of a sprint, under the start and end date, you will find the charts. You currently have the option to switch between burn-down charts and release reports. Burn-down charts are an early indicator of how the project is progressing and can help teams meet deadlines and track their speed. Burn-down charts are the perfect visual representation to answer the question, how's that sprint going? Release reports help teams manage scope changes across projects and better predict end dates based on what work is happening. This helps teams answer important questions such as, can we commit to the entire spec and still deliver on time? Or, has the increase in newly discovered bugs impacted our goal of launching this by October 30th? With sprints on Product, you will be able to keep your work on track, adapt to scope changes, and have a predicted time when things will get done, keeping projects on time and on budget so you can avoid surprises before it's too late. Folder organization. On Product, everything is organized in your folder tree. We've chosen folder organization as it's the easiest and most familiar organization structure, and it offers the flexibility to organize your departments, platforms, projects, or products in a way that fits your organization's unique needs. Every folder has its own dashboard acting as a portfolio monitor. This is great to get an overview of how your projects and sprints are progressing and spot blocks and delays. Each folder, sprint, or project has its unique member settings. Here you can simply add someone from your team or invite new members. When you add a member to a folder, that member's access and role permissions cascade down. For example, if you add Ryan to the folder Customer Support, he will have access to the project's support and feedback, which are nested in this folder. Of course, you can overwrite any project's permissions to remove Ryan or change his role specifically for any of these nested projects. Together with granting access, you can select what role and permissions each member has on each folder, project, or sprint individually. Permissions. We are taking security really seriously, and the permissions are amazingly advanced. Roles are managed from your team's permissions settings. Here you can find a list of available roles. By default, we provide you with some basic roles so you can get started: owner, manager, member, collaborator, and guest. For example, you can use the role guest to allow external people to see the tasks and the current status. Guest can't create tasks or edit them, and they don't have access to see comments, assignees, or other internal information. With this level of flexibility, roles and permissions is a great tool to manage teams with multiple levels of access, or to even have people outside your company, like clients or contractors, collaborating with your team on specific projects with restricted access. You have absolute control over what everyone can see and do.